answer some audience questions. And when Senator Harris joins later, we're going to hear about her favorite Marvel characters and movies, and we'll play some trivia to see if we can stump her. And who knows, perhaps at some point an unannounced Avenger may be dropping by.
Well, that's intriguing. I wonder who that could be. All right, let's bring in our first Avenger. Zoe Saldana. Zoe, how are you? Where are you zooming in from today?
I am in Los Angeles. So, yeah, just enjoying this warm weather in the middle of winter. I know that a lot of you guys can't say the same, but at least the weather's nice, among other things that are falling apart. But that's why we're here.
It is great to see you. We miss you. Can you tell us, has there been any upsides to quarantine for you? Anything that's come out of it, family time, new skills that you've developed, anything? Any upsides?
Oh my God. Yes, yes. You know, as you guys know, I'm a mother of 3 beautiful boys. And so getting to spend quality time with my family, with my children and my husband and my near family has been truly, truly a blessing. Skills that I've mastered. I am an expert at tie-dye. I realize that I do have it in me to be a first grade teacher sometimes. And I've become a snack master.
I think I need a tie-dye shirt from you. If you're up.
I'll get one.
Now, quick question. Have you voted yet? And if you haven't, what's your voting plan?
I did. I voted online. By mail. Amazing. And I did it a week and a half ago, and I'm super excited. I drove it to the mailbox. I put it in there myself. I almost shed a tear, but I did make a prayer. So that was a good thing. It was a very emotional day.
Incredible. Also joining us today, Zoe, a very dear friend of ours and yours, Mr. Chris Evans. Can we bring Chris in?
Hey, what's going on, Team Extreme?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good, man, good. Awesome. We got a big question for you because everyone's been asking, how is Dodger?
He's great. He's lying over at the just outside the room. Yeah, he's great. He's great. Him and I have been, he might be getting a little sick of me. You know, we spend every waking second together now. So even though I enjoy the FaceTime I get with him, he may be looking for just old trips to the dog park that we just can't do anymore.
How'd you come up with the name Dodger?
Oh, sorry,
how'd I come up with Dodger? You know, I get a lot of flack for this because everyone's like, oh, I thought you're from Boston. It has nothing to do with the Dodgers. When I first saw him, he was at a shelter, and I said, man, he really looks like the dog Dodger from, I don't know if you ever saw Oliver and Company, a bit of a deep cut. It's an animated film from the, I think, early 90s, maybe late 80s. But there was a character who's, you know, the artful Dodger, and he looked like Dodger. And I said, man, he really looks like that dog Dodger. And then I was thinking of other names, but I just couldn't get that one out of my head. And I just thought, you know what? I'm not going to push this one around. I'm just going to let it stick.
And we know you're a big animated movie fan and musical film fan. Have you been catching up on any of those movies during quarantine?
No, I really haven't been, actually. I've been doing a lot of camping, a lot of hiking, trying to be outside as much as I can. I know every single hiking trail within a 30-mile radius of my house now. And I mean, I'm an East Coast guy, so I love this time of year. It's a beautiful time to be hiking.
That's great. And have you voted yet, Chris? And if not, what is your voting plan?
I have not voted yet. I just dropped my thing in the mail last week, so any day now I'm sure my vote by mail thing is going to show up. But yeah, that's the plan.
Amazing. Okay, great. So now we're going to bring in another Avenger for all of you, and another very dear friend of all of ours, Miss Scarlett Johansson. Let's bring in Scarlett.
Hey. Oh no.
Oh, look at her. Beautiful as always.
That literally, we lost her iPad, I'm sure, right?
That was that moment. Here's the story.
Scarlett was telling us right before we all got on that she was at 2% on our iPad. It was plugged in, but...
I think I saw a flash of her, though. It was quick. It was brief. That's all you get, though. She keeps you wanting more, you know? It makes you lean in.
Let's see if we get her back in a minute. We're going to go to our next Avenger, Paul Rudd. Can we bring in Paul Rudd? Hey, there he is.
And
I'm fully charged, guys. fully charged.
Rudd, how has life been during quarantine? How are you doing, man?
It's been pretty good. I gotta say, it's been pretty good. You know, considering it's awful everywhere. I've been with my family, and that's been really nice. I mean, all the standard answers. I think that we've been able to spend time with our loved ones, and that's been something I will always treasure. I've been building shelves and things like that. I've been trying to do projects around the house that I've put off for a few years. And what else? I bought a popcorn machine.
You love popcorn?
no, I hate
Yeah. Oh, it's great. Oh, yeah, it's great. I got one of those old-timey popcorn machines, but it showed up all smashed and dented. But it still works.
Now, you and Evans and I all play in a fantasy football league together. How's your season going?
Right. Well, it's going all right. I know I lost to Ryan Reynolds, but I was saying by 4 points last night because for some reason, when the Cowboys were on the 1 yard line and it was first down, they decided to throw the ball 3 times instead of giving it to Ezekiel Elliott. So I hate the Cowboys.
I squeaked out a win against you by 1 point, didn't I? Was it last week that I got you?
Last week we played and you won by 1 point.
Yeah.
Because I forgot to change my kicker. Well, I didn't realize that Young Wei Koo hurt his groin.
You're on a 2-game losing streak here, Paul. You got to turn around, man.
I really got to turn it around.
Have you voted yet, sir?
I've not voted yet. I'm voting. I'm voting in upstate New York this weekend. I'm doing early voting, and I'm doing voting in person. I wanted to go and actually do it in person, and so that starts on Saturday, and I'll be going to vote. Write down the ticket. All blue.
I just got word, Paul, that we got Scarlett back. So we're going to bring her in now. We're going to add her to this.
Hey!
Hi.
Hey, there she is.
Hi, Scarlett.
Hello.
How's it going? I'm very lo-fi over here.
Yeah. Scarlett, how you doing? Where you zooming in from?
I am in Long Island. Yeah, I've been here since March. So it's a beautiful time of year here. Lots of fall foliage. I feel very thankful to be in a very beautiful place, and that's where I am. Yeah.
And how's quarantine been for you? Anything notable you want to talk about? Any skills you've developed? Time you spent with friends and family?
Let's see. I don't know that there's much notable, which is a good thing. I've been really fortunate to spend a lot of time with my family. I have a 6-year-old daughter who, I've been spending tons and tons of quality time with, which is wonderful. I have been cooking a lot. Which I find very comforting, and I've been watching a lot of movies. I've been watching a lot of shows, and reading and developing stuff for production and all that good stuff.
And Scarlett, have you voted yet?
I have not. Oh, sorry. I have not voted yet. I'm going to be voting in person next week. I'm very excited about voting in person, and I'm going to take my daughter with me, and we are going to vote together.
That's awesome. That's amazing. I mean, if there's any powerful component that's come out of the quarantine, it is certainly reconnecting with your family.
For sure.
All right, we've got another Avenger here on deck. It's the Incredible Hulk himself. Well, now Professor Hulk, Mark Ruffalo.
Friends,
Hey, buddy.
Hi, Mark.
how you doing? I miss you guys.
Oh,
We miss
buddy.
you, Mark.
So good to see you.
Hey, Mark,
So
where are
happy
you
you're-
zooming in?
What is it?
Where are you zooming in from, Mark?
I'm in the Catskills in the ancestral land of the Lenape and Munsee Native people.
Wow.
It's a mouthful.
Amazing.
I got to see Mark. So happy you're here because you're an inspiration to all of us. Your political activism has always been so inspiring and exciting and necessary. So thanks. I know that has an effect on everybody.
Thank you, man. That means a lot to me. Thank you. We're all doing our bit.
Mark, how's your quarantine been? What can you tell us a little bit about what you've been up to?
Well, I mean, after getting over the extreme paranoia and wiping down every box and every package that came into the house, and just, the utter just being devastated. I did get to spend a lot of time with my teens who at this point in their life, I was pretty sure I wasn't going to see them again until their 20s. But now they've been forced to stay with me, and that's been really beautiful. I had a nice garden, little Italian garden, and been bike riding and doing this stuff, doing all the political stuff for this election, this big important election.
And Mark, have you voted yet? Speaking of the election, have you voted?
I have. Sonny and I, we got our absentee ballots because we're our place is in the city, so we're up here now. But we got our absentee ballots. We sat together and filled them out and put our little naked ballots in their little secrecy envelopes. Followed all the directions and sent them off as soon as we got them, so as not to be disqualified or to have our votes be thrown out in any way possible.
That's awesome. We've got our last Avenger here, but certainly not least. He was having a little technical difficulties, but we've got him. Mr. Don Cheadle is here, everyone, to join us. Don, are you there?
Look at that mustache.
All right.
What's up, man? You like the little 50s joint I got working? Thank you.
Look at that stash, buddy. Looking good.
Yes, bro.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Don,
What's going on,
is that a personal choice or is that for your role?
It's for my role. No, I just wanted to rock it. No, it's for my role. I'm actually in Detroit right now, in the greater Detroit area. I rolled the dice and came to work on a film, and everything's been, pretty 100 so far. So we're very fortunate.
And how's your quarantine been otherwise? A lot of time with family?
Yeah, mostly all of my time with wifey, with Bridget, and the kids kind of close by. They're the people that we get to see a lot. It's been honestly heavy at times. There was a very significant loss in our family due to COVID, and that hit everybody really hard. But it's great that we're able to come around one another and support one another, and it really lets you know what's important, not only in your life, but what's really at stake in this election, and what we really need to make sure that we get correct. So it's been joy and pain, but that's what life is, right?
Yeah, we're sorry to hear that, Don.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Have you had an opportunity to cast your vote yet?
I did. I voted. Bridget actually came out and visited, which was great. And just like Mark, we sat down and did the whole absentee ballot together. And she took it back with her to LA and made sure she didn't put it in a fake mailbox. And I think we're all good.
All right, good. Well, we have a bunch of fun stuff planned for all of you today. But first, we're going to open it up to some questions that are coming from our incredible donors who are joining us today. And I want to just say that miss all of you dearly, love you guys. I'm so glad and proud that we're all here together. Let's kick this off with our first question. Amp, I believe you have a question for Don.
Yeah, the question is for Don. So this is Amanda from Montana, and she asks, Hi, Don. Much love to you. My question for you is, what is something that you have learned about yourself throughout the pandemic and that you will take with you if or when things return to normal?
I just think the importance of being real with yourself and being clear with yourself and letting yourself feel the thing.
I don't know. How do I do that? Tell me how to do that.
Hello? Oh, I'm sorry. Someone's talking to me. Go sideways. I think that's the most important thing. Just kind of being honest with yourself and letting yourself go through the feelings and not trying to shut things out and leaning on your friends.
Can I ask you a question?
We've all different times gotten to connect, and it's been great, and it's really helped a lot.
That's amazing, Don.
Great answer, Don.
Yep.
Sorry.
Even though Scarlett tried to sabotage
Scarlett's in her own conversation.
Scarlett's answer?
I think Scarlett wanted to answer that question.
This is just like set.
It's a very lo-fi production over here. I'm sorry. I live in the woods. I'm sorry.
Okay. We got a question coming for you, said Scarlett. I think, Chris, do you have a question for Rudd?
Oh, yeah, I do. Rudd, this was a question from, it's going to be such a good question. Hang on. I remember it. I can't remember who asked it. I wish I could, but I can't.
Matthew from Michigan wants to know.
Matthew from Michigan wanted to know. Is this the one about Rush?
Yes.
Joe? All right, so Matthew from Michigan. Matthew Michigan wanted to know what is Scott Lang's favorite Rush, and you know what? What's Scott Lang's favorite Rush song, and what's your favorite Rush song?
Ooh, this is a tricky one. Well, I would say for Scott Lang, he loves ants. He's familiar with ants, and an ant's body is subdivided into 3 parts: head, abdomen, and thorax. So I'd probably go with subdivisions.
Okay.
Scarlett, we're going to let Rudd take this one.
And then I'm going to defer to my favorite Rush song for Scarlett. Scarlett, what do you think? What would my favorite Rush song be?
Scarlett, you seem to want it.
Is there a Rush song called "Don't Interrupt Me"?
Please continue, Paul.
To be fair,
uninterrupted.
we should be able to close Scarlett's mic when she's not on camera, so that doesn't happen. But sorry about that.
Please, Paul, continue. What's your favorite Rush song?
Oh boy.
Paul's favorite Rush song.
I don't know. What do you think? It's a tough one to say. I can't. You know what?
Not Tom Sawyer?
I'm gonna go with Red Barchetta.
I was going to say Red Barchetta. That's my favorite Rush song. We're Cleveland guys. Yeah, Rush was
the great one, Red Barchetta. I loved it as a kid. It was the first one I think that I really cottoned to.
Yeah. Scarlett, you have a question to ask.
Yes,
Chris.
I have a question.
Yeah. Yes, you have it? Are you ready?
My question is from Alejandro in California for Chris. Chris, how has playing the role of Captain America, or shall we say Steve Rogers, affected your personal life and your role in politics?
There she goes. She's numbers.
God. I don't know. My role in politics? I'm not quite sure. I'm not sure that I have a role in politics, but he's a very good man. He sets the bar very high. So it's a privilege to play such a good man. It's hard to not take a little piece of it home with you. You stay in that headspace all day. And I suppose he's someone that you kind of measure yourself against, you know. And like I said, he sets the bar pretty high, so you end up feeling bad about yourself most of the time. But you know, it's a good character to look up to and aspire to, and kind of try to model your behavior after, because he certainly puts everybody and everything before himself.
But you've always been politically active. You were politically active before you took the role. So.
Sure. I mean, you know, I suppose, I mean, it's tough right now because, you know, I have strong political opinions, but what I see happening right now, as I'm sure we all see it happening, is that we're just such a divided country, and not to, you know, start throwing bombs this early in this thing, but I think the fish, you know, rots from the head down. And I think, you know, we certainly have someone who is actively trying to divide us. So my involvement in politics these days is more about trying to just get people engaged and just try to, you know, I think a lot of people are turning off because it is such a vitriolic, divisive landscape right now. So the task that I've kind of dedicated myself towards is to just try and return to a place of civil discourse and you know, finding commonality as opposed to finding where we disagree, and just to make government work the way it's supposed to work, and that only happens with engagement.
Here, Chris. Totally in agreement. And I want to thank everyone in the audience that has sent in questions, and I want to thank you, our dear friends, for answering them. But it's crazy to think that the last time we were all together, we were pretending to save the universe, and now we get to be together with someone that is actually trying to do it in real life. And to make it even more special, today is her birthday. Yeah.
It is. And so, ladies and gentlemen, the next Vice President of the United States of America is here, Kamala Harris. Yay! Wow.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
Hey.
Hi. Oh, we're so glad to be with you. Hi, everyone.
Hey.
I'd start singing happy birthday, but I got a terrible singing voice.
It's okay. I can hear it. I hear it in my heart.
Let's do it. Happy birthday to you.
And you can have the
It's going to sound like we're singing around.
Birthday to you.
That was the saddest rendition of Happy Birthday anybody's ever sung. Happy
I
birthday.
will take it. It was good. I'll take it.
We owe you another
How's
one
everyone?
Soon. Yeah.
Good.
Very well. How are you?
Good.
I'm good. You know, 14 days before the end of the election, I don't think of it as 14 days before, because people have already started voting. I was in Florida yesterday. People started voting there yesterday. Today, people started voting in Wisconsin. You know, us in California, early voting with vote by mail. So 14 days until the end of the election and no time to spare, which you guys know, which is why you're here with us. And thank you. It means the world to me.
Absolutely. And what you're doing means the world to us. So thank you for fighting for all of us and for fighting for everyone's voice in this country. We know,
Well, you know, Anthony.
Sorry, Senator, I was going to say, we know you are an enormous Avengers fan. I don't know if you guys all know this, but when we were shooting Infinity War, she and her husband, Doug, tried multiple times to get to set to come say hello because she just wanted to check out a day of us shooting Avengers, because that's what a huge fan she is. So I do want to talk a little bit about your, you know, how much you love Avengers and Black Panther, but.
Well, I would love to do that. I mean, you know, here's the thing. I think that, first of all, there's so much I want to do just to thank Anthony and Joe and the entire cast. It means, first of all, I'm a huge fan. So I'm like a kid right now being with all of you guys, and all together. And Don has been a friend for a long time, and Bridget, and I just want to thank you guys for what you're doing to put yourselves out there, to be so engaged, and and to speak up in this way, because you certainly don't have to, and you're all so talented. The gift that you give is such an important one. And thank you for speaking out and for supporting Joe and me. I also just want to mention Chadwick. You know, actually, where I am now, the studio for my DC headquarters, if you will, is at Howard University. And that's Chadwick and I actually both attended Howard University. And I think about him all the time. There are monuments and memorials set up on campus to him. And he was a very dear friend. And so I do want to just, as I know we all do, honor his life and the memory of him. And, you know, just thinking about the Avengers and the films that you, the Russo brothers, and all of you as artists have created. I was thinking about, okay, let's think about the Avengers in the context of this election, and this election in the context of who we are as America, right? And I think that there is something about the values of the Avengers and the films that are reflective of the core values of who we are as Americans. You know, if you think about, for example, the significance, and Joe Biden feels very strongly about this too. If you think about the significance of, and I heard, Chris, I heard you talking before I came on, right? And I couldn't agree with you more about the fish, by the way. But the importance of honor and courage and unity, right? And those being some of the, I think, guiding principles among many in the Avengers series, right? And so honor and decency. You know, Joe and I, of course, are committed to honoring the dignity of work, protecting the most vulnerable, respecting science and truth in the White House. And of course, we all know honor and decency matters. And it matters whether you are saving the universe from Thanos or fighting for the soul of our nation. But the integrity that should come and be in any leader in terms of valuing that principle, I think is very important. Courage, you know, so right now, again, everyone who's a part of this, the courage to speak up and speak out in the way that you have, but in particular to do it when we are facing so many challenges as a country and as a people. And, you know, one of the things I love about the characters is that even those characters who, you know, they start out having, you know, issues with each other or grievances or insecurities, that then those characters suit up. And they suit up when it counts, and they are just full of power, and power that is, you know, an extension of an important principle of self-determination. And, you know, traveling the country as I've been in these last many, many months, I'm seeing that in the American people right now. I'm seeing people willing to suit up. I mean, it's those people standing in lines right now waiting to vote in the rain, waiting to vote in spite of state legislatures or state officials who are making it difficult for people to vote or trying to make it confusing for people to vote. But folks are suiting up in our country. You know, people are suiting up in terms of saying that they're going to stand up and fight for the values that they hold dear, fight for the integrity of our democracy, fight to get closer to those ideals, you know, like equal justice under law, knowing that that is, I think, the true sign of patriotism, Captain America, which is, you know, it's about knowing that we love our country and we are willing to fight for its integrity and fight for the values we hold dear. And, you know, so I think about that in terms of what the characters do in the show. And I think that, you know, I think that people deserve an equal commitment from their president when it comes to that kind of fight and that willingness to suit up. And I think that's what you're going to get from Joe Biden. And then I guess finally the point about unity. I mean, we have to heal our country. And you guys were talking about this before I popped on, but the kind of hate and the sowing of hate and division, you know, true leadership is about bringing people together and understanding that within the beauty of and are appreciated for that and And then all those superpowers in particular coming together at the end, right, to deal with Thanos. And I just think there is such symmetry around that in this moment. Because, of course, that was about the fate of the universe, and he held the fate of the universe in his hand. And right now we are looking at somebody who is denying science, be it a pandemic that has killed over 220,000 Americans and has harmed over 8 million Americans who will have untold long-term health consequences. Someone who is denying science while the western part of our country is burning with wildfires, while the coastal states are being ravaged by storms, while Midwestern states are facing floods where farmers have lost whole seasons of crops. So I guess if the Avengers can assemble from across the galaxy, then the American people can get together from wherever we are, whoever we voted for in the last election, and whatever language our grandmother spoke, and come together to get our country on the right track. So thank you all. Joe and I are so appreciative for all of you, and the values that you exhibit in your characters and your work are the values that we care most about. So thank you all. It's great to be with you.
Thank you. And
That was great. I forgot I was even a part of this thing. I just got lost in this. That was fantastic.
Hello.
With this?
My goodness.
And 14 days to go, and go to iwillvote.com. I forgot to, I should have mentioned that. The website, very important, iwillvote.com.
Yes.
And I know you mentioned Chadwick, and I just want to say that, you know, he was a good friend and a generational talent and a wonderful human being. And I think that we were all very blessed to have had the opportunity to work with him. And I know that if he were still here, he'd be standing alongside us all right now. So
Yeah.
I know exactly where his heart would be. So I know that we've got a few questions from the cast that they want to ask you, Senator.
Okay.
And I think Scarlett may have a question. Scarlett, do you have your question?
I do. I heard an uh-oh there. I guess that was from work. Kamala, it's so nice to meet you. And my question to you would be, if you could possess any of the superpowers that the Marvel characters possess, which one would you want and why?
You know, I mean, I think in lots of superpowers I would love to have that you all have. But I think that, you know, when we think of the Princess of Wakanda, that incredible sister, Shuri, I think that, you know, the ability to like come together and develop new technologies and tackle climate change and invest in, you know, I often say that the ability that we should all have to be able to see what can be unburdened by what has been, right? I think that's such an incredible superpower, if you will. It's an incredible talent, and it's part of what we need, which is all of us to be able to see a world and imagine a world where we have peace and where we have equity and where we cherish this God-given planet and where we value education of our children and imagine that and then work to get that. I think that's an incredible quality that actually is a superpower when people have it.
Amazing answer. Chris, I think you've got a question.
I do. Senator Harris, lovely to meet you. What scene from a Marvel movie, from any Marvel movie, is the most meaningful to you, and why?
Okay, so I would say when Gamora reaches out to Nebula. because my sister is very important to me, and I know the power of sisterhood. I also know how sisters can fight, but at the end come together as they did. And so it was very, actually, it was touching at the end, but in each iteration of their relationship, seeing it develop was fun to watch, and some of my favorite scenes.
Great.
Zoe, will you talk about that scene a little bit from your point of view?
Oh my gosh, yes. I was having an out-of-body experience, by the way. I was like really fanning over you right now. Thank you so much. Thank you. I do believe in the power of sisterhood. Something beautiful has been happening in the last 2 years, post Me Too, with the movement, and it's the solidarity that has grown within us to have each other's back, to care for each other, and to not just the inability to leave a woman behind. It has been really magical, and women like you, leaders like you, are always so inspiring for younger women. And actually, I do have a question for you. I know it's not on the script, so please forgive me. What message do you have for young women in America? Looking at their future.
Yeah, that's a great. I love that question, and thank you, Zoe. And I couldn't agree with you more. The power of sisterhood, and it's the sister that you were born with. It's the sisters that you choose, right? And the brothers, right? But I've been the first woman in almost every position I've had. And my mother used to have many sayings. One of them is she'd say, "Kamala, you may be the first to do many things, but make sure you're not the last." And so part of what I think about is the responsibility we each have to, there's a phrase, each one pull one, to create a path, when we chart that path, to make it wider so more can enter. But I will say also that we're still dealing with so many imbalances in terms of women in roles of leadership. And that could be in the corporate boardroom or the courtroom. And so part of what we have to do as women is remember that when we are in those rooms, and we may be the only one that looks like us or the only one who has had our life experience, we have to remember that we carry so many others in that room with us. And for that reason, we should never be in that room and feel alone. We should always remember there is a whole group of people who are cheering us on and are expecting that we're going to use the strength of our voice when we're in that room, and in that way represent and know that we are never alone. So those are some of the pieces of advice I'd give people, just to know you're not alone, and don't ever let anyone make you feel alone.
Thank you.
Amazing. And Paul, I believe you have a question as well.
I do, yes. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Senator Harris. This is a real honor. My question for you is, who is your favorite Avenger at this event?
Named Chris.
Wow. Way to.
Oh.
That's asking this
Mama
question.
didn't raise no fool.
That's not fair.
You are all my favorites, because without each one of your talents, would we be able to save the universe? We could not save the universe without each one of you and the special thing you bring to our universe. So that's where we are.
Well played. Well played.
Well done. Well done.
That's why you are right for the job.
The ultimate sacrifice, but
Senator Harris, I think you have a question for Don.
So let's see. Let me say, I think I'm going to ask Don and Chris and Mark and Paul together. If you had to play a different Marvel superhero in your next movie, which superhero would you pick and why?
Ooh, that's a good
So
one.
if you had to, right, kind of like do that Jumanji kind of switch up.
Yeah.
Where would, yeah, right? Who would you go with?
I think I'll take the Hulk just because, Cap doesn't get much CGI. And sometimes I look at Mark and he has all the dots and he's wearing all those strange CGI outfits. I think I wouldn't mind having some fun. Technically, it's really just days off. When the CGI happens, he gets to go home. So I'll
But
say
at the end, but Mark, at the end, you were actually kind of a hybrid, right? You were kind of there, but you were, so it wasn't as much, right?
Some call him Smart Hulk and some call him Dumb Banner.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, but I don't know what Chris is talking about because the days I had to shoot the movie twice. I had to go off and do the CGI by myself, and then with playing with tennis balls for everybody else, and then I had to shoot the scenes with them. Right. So I didn't get a day off. I had to shoot the movie 2 times. But I would love to be.
All about that. Yeah, we all.
I would love to be. I'd love to be Black Widow because she's such a badass. She is. She's a sex symbol, and she is. And she is a master actor. I mean, she is the greatest actor that has ever lived.
You're talking about the Black Widow, or?
And I'm talking about Scarlett and Black Widow at the same time.
Don doesn't approve. I can see that. I can see Don does not approve.
I know who I would like to play, and it's not about any lofty aspirations or any, really deep message, any kind of thing like that. I just want to wear Captain America's pants, the tights. That's.
No, you don't. They're not that comfortable.
I know, but I'm kind of, so I just want to massacre.
But you look great in them.
Yeah, I'm not touching that.
That's what Chris said. That's what Chris said.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Well, Mark, I was going to say Black Widow as well for all those answers that you gave, which I think are all true. But seeing as it sounds dumb to just repeat you, I'll just say Thor, because he hasn't been mentioned. And I would like to see what my body looks like with a CGI'd Hemsworth physique. That's the only way I'll ever myself with a Hemsworth physique.
Smart.
And there is just something about that hammer, right? It's exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. And then Scarlett and Zoe, I think, you guys play such strong and powerful characters. And, you were talking about, role modeling for women and just showing the strength, right? And I wonder for your roles, and you've played so many roles. I'm a huge fan of all of you. But for those roles, are there any real life superheroes that or any real life women that inspired or motivated, or men even, that inspired you when you played Gamora and Natasha?
I'm trying to think. I have a lot of I was very fortunate to have a lot of very strong female role models in my life growing up, who were very, grounded, independent, forward-thinking women. And they inspired me to, follow my dreams and to think independently and stand up for myself. And those are all qualities that are, are imbued in all the characters that I play, but certainly in Natasha. I mean, Natasha, her strength really lies in her vulnerability, I think, unexpectedly. That's been a journey that I've discovered, over the past decade of making these movies and with all of these guys, and I think back to my grandma, who was very politically active. She was, she always very involved in her block association and attendance association, and always encouraged us to get involved in local politics and be active in our communities. that's a huge part of the integrity of who I am. And, you know, it's women like my grandma and like my mom who have really, you know, inspired that kind of independence in me, and so, you know, so in Natasha and so forth.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. And again, it's like when we're fortunate in our personal lives to have those role models, it makes a huge difference. Really does.
It does.
You know,
it does. And you're that role model for so many young women. You know, I think it's just so inspiring to watch you, you know, speak your truth, be true to yourself, and stay grounded, stay focused with your eye on the prize. That really, it's been incredible to watch, and you inspire so many young women and women alike. I really, I mean that truly from the bottom of my heart. It's an honor, really, to watch you and to be here with you.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Zoe.
That's a huge compliment. Thank you. Zoe?
Yes, I was going to say my grandmother, too, as an immigrant, she came here in 1961, and it was the year that the dictator Trujillo was assassinated in Dominican Republic. And my grandmother was born in the 30s. So for 30 years of his tyranny, she never really knew freedom until she landed in New York. And every year after we were born, you know, she would always tell us on the day that she arrived. It was always like this big gathering. She would make a big dinner, and she would always tell us a tale of what it was like when she landed in New York and she worked, and then when she became a citizen, and she was always able to vote and have an opinion and really care about her community. And that is something that, just like your grandma Scarlett, she really instilled in us the importance of community and to care not just about what happens inside your home, but also what's happening in your neighbor's home and who needs help. And as a Latina, she was so proud of being able to be a citizen and work her way in a nation that enabled her the gift of growth and progress. And this year, you know, every time I tune in and I listen to the news and the stats and how the Latinos and the young generations, millennials and well, not really Gen Zs, but the millennials are really coming out and voting. It makes me feel that she would have been really proud to know that. You know, we lost her last year, but it's the one thing that my sisters and I, fervently, like, we just want to continue living on and immortalizing just those teachings that she gave us about voting and caring about America and caring about a community.
Wow. See, there's a through line. Thank you, guys.
Those were amazing answers. And Senator, we've got a little surprise for you now. We have a fan who actually sent in a video with a birthday message just for you. So here's that special fan.
Hi, everybody. Sorry to barge in on you like this, but I just wanted to drop in and say happy birthday to my superhero wife. I wish we could be together watching yet another Avengers movie right now, but this is the next best thing. And I can't pass up an opportunity to say something I've always wanted to. Avengers, assemble. This is amazing. I see Captain America, Black Widow, War Machine, Gamora, Hulk, Ant-Man, Falcon, and my friends, the Russos. Hey, Joe and Anthony, good to see you again. As usual, Thor seems to be off somewhere else. One of the last times we saw you all together, Thanos tried to snap his fingers and kill half the universe, but thanks to science, we solved the problem. The threat we face now isn't entirely different. A global pandemic, a climate crisis, and a president who is making it all worse. He is a villain fit for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, except he tweets more, and he's an active super spreader. One of the things I love about your movies is that at their core, they're about a diverse and unlikely crew of characters coming together to try to make the world better. And that's what this campaign is about, convincing Americans from walks of life that if we all come together, there's nothing we can't do.
Right on.
That's my Dougie.
Chris, I think you might have done Avengers Assemble a little bit better, maybe.
I was going to say, it took my line.
That was a
right.
beautiful, beautiful birthday message. Really amazing. So look, this whole conversation has been so wonderful and inspiring, but we may need to just like up the stakes a little bit with a little game we call Avengers, the trivia game. So we're going to split everybody up now into 2 teams and ask a series of questions, Family Feud style. We're going to have 10 seconds to answer, and each correct answer is worth 25,000 points, just because. Wow. We've got our team captains. So we've got team captains. We have the Incredible Hulk, Mr. Mark Ruffalo, and we've got the Incredible Ant-Man, Mr. Paul Rudd. Guys, will you please take it from here?
Sure thing. Yes, well, I think I will introduce everyone on my team, Joe and Anthony Russo, and the pride of Passaic, New Jersey, Zoe Saldana. Team Rudd.
Oh, yeah? Well,
Jersey!
I have Senator Harris. I have Scarlett Johansson, Chris Evans, and Don Cheedio.
All right.
Beat that.
So I've got, like, I want to say I have 2 problems with these teams. Number 1, Senator Harris is not on our team.
Right.
Number two, we only have 3 people on our team. It doesn't. This is not how we made Civil War, guys. Like this.
Are you and Joe one person?
I was going to say, I count 4.
This kind is one person. They are in the Directors Guild.
Senator Harris, you have Senator Harris on your team. It's 5-4 here.
You guys need somebody else.
Although you just lost Scarlett
Don't
again.
have Scarlett.
There's Scarlett.
Don't have her.
And we have a little Jersey. My husband is from Jersey. My husband and Doug, who you just saw, the love of my life, he's from Jersey, so Matawan. So I'm just going to cover that too. Oakland and Matawan. Okay.
I think we can even out the sides here, maybe unweight them a little bit. And I think
there's a chance that Scarlett's going to just drop out during this quiz anyway.
I'm so sorry. I live in the woods again. I apologize.
So it'll even up numbers, but just by chance.
Yeah, exactly.
And bring in our ringer.
Yeah, I think we do. I think we need to add somebody else to this mix.
What?
All right.
What?
Here's our ringer.
No fair.
Oh!
No.
There's the man.
Nice.
What up, buddy?
Oh my God. That's
All right,
so great.
Not fair.
I love you 3000.
We're also hugely competitive, so it's about to get nasty. Let's begin.
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's dive in. Let's do it.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to ask the first
surprise, guys.
Go ahead,
We have
Ron.
one more surprise.
One more.
Yeah.
Bring
Just
him
to
in.
make things.
Mackie was shooting in the UK. He just finished, and he just got on the Zoom with us. Ladies and gentlemen, Anthony Mackie is here.
He's on our team.
Where is he?
I don't see him. I don't see him.
I think it's like 2 a.m. in the UK, so he might have fallen asleep on his keyboard.
Yeah, you're good, Anthony.
I'm just waiting to hear. Cut that check.
Okay. All right.
All right, well, we're going to keep going anyway. Mackie wants to text you an answer. He's more than welcome to. This is the first question. Which of the following is not an infinity stone? And this is, I'm asking Team Ruffalo. Light, time, space, or power?
Light.
Which is not infinity.
Wait, Senator's got it. What do you got? What do you got? I think it's
light.
Is it light?
You said light. That's it. We got that.
That's correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Well done.
Well played. Well played.
you guys now. How did Wakanda get its vibranium? Sent back in time from a future, Shuri. Created by Wakanda ancestors. C, arrived to Wakanda in the form of an asteroid. Or D, discovered as a result of a volcanic eruption.
C.
She's making a
That is
bold
right.
choice. She didn't even consult with you guys. She's making the call.
Sure you don't want to think about it?
D.
Is she a
asteroid.
complete answer?
She's right.
D, she's right. Absolutely.
Right.
She's right.
You guys
Way to
are
go.
brutal.
I'm impressed.
All right.
That was good. I didn't know that.
Here we go. Team Ruffalo. How many PhDs does the Hulk have?
Ooh.
Wait, the Hulk
How
or
many
Banner?
Does the Hulk have?
Ooh, Scarlett.
Yeah,
That's
good
a
She,
answer.
That's
I agree.
not right.
I
That-
agree.
That feels like a trick question to me.
Question.
It really does.
I
Really
agree.
Is it? Is it a trick question?
It kind of is. Oops.
What do you-
Might be.
I don't.
wicked.
I think. I mean,
Hulk has no
unless
degree.
in that last episode he went to school, like.
All right,
He's-
so are we saying trick question? Trick question, final answer?
Yeah. Wait a minute. Are we saying that? Are we talking about Smart Hulk as one?
I'm going to give you
person?
answers. How many PhDs does the Hulk have? Is it 0? Is it 3? Is it 6 or 7?
Zero.
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 is an
How
option.
many PhDs does the Hulk have?
He's really,
Zero.
really smart. No.
Hulk didn't go to school.
Hulk is-
Am I allowed to answer?
Yeah. What's
Yes.
Yeah, what do you got? Come on,
Seven.
Mark.
He's got 7 PhDs. He's got a medical doctor degree, and he holds
Hulk?
6 degrees in physics and gamma radiation.
Hulk?
Hulk or Banner.
No.
It's Banner.
All right, what's the
Hulk
answer?
has
Give us the answer, Rod.
Seamless.
Are you
You guys
guys-
got the trick question out of the gate. You'll fill Mark in on that one later. Yeah, you're right. It's 0 for Hulk. It's 7 for Banner.
There we go.
All right.
Oh, it was a trick question. Trick question. All
It
right,
was
all
a
right.
trick question. You guys got it.
Okay, fine. Here you go. So, Team
Okay,
Rudd. Question number 4. 1 hour, 39 minutes, 22 seconds into Endgame. Steve and Tony arrive to Camp Lehigh, briefly passing a government office where the staff works fastidiously. There's an analog clock on the wall. What time does the clock read? A,
Ooh.
1:38, B, 3:25, C, 4:33, or D, 5:02?
I got this.
You're trying to embarrass the directors there.
No, you don't.
I don't even know this
First of
Downey's
all,
got it.
because it's a military installation, it should read 16:33, but it is 4:33 p.m. Yes?
How do you know that?
How do you know this? This is unbelievable.
We walked by it. We walked by it 30 times.
Wow.
How many takes did we do on that scene? 50, right?
Wow.
We did a bunch, but it was also supposed to be an afternoon scene. If you remember the time of day it was when we traveled there, once we botched it, it was mid to late afternoon.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Wow.
Downey.
I'm blown away.
My God.
Downey Jr. has.
This was a ringer impressive. Wow. All right, here we go. In the final battle against Thanos, who did T'Challa pass the gauntlet to? Was it Shuri, Spider-Man, Ant-Man, or the Hulk?
Spider-Man.
No idea.
I wasn't there, so sorry.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. I think it was Spider-Man.
It's Spider-Man. Yeah, I'm with Senator Harris. I think it's Spider-Man.
Senator Harris.
Yeah, well done, guys. You really know your stuff.
Very impressive. Very impressive.
Okay, here we go. Team Rudd. In Endgame, Which of the below could be spotted by Black Widow's desk? A, boxing gloves. B, brass knuckles. C, ballet shoes. Or D, a really hard crossword puzzle, like a super hard one.
Anthony, remember what we put on that desk?
Stumped him. Stumped him. I'm liking it, Team Ruffalo. I think we got this one.
I think well, we haven't given an answer yet. I think I know.
You heard the it's a
Wait, is it a crossword puzzle or ballet shoes? Ballet slippers.
I think it's that. I think it's that. I think it's the ballet shoes.
Dan,
Rod, you're invincible. Yes, ballet shoes.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, I'm not supposed to clap on the other team.
All right, are we ready, team?
Okay.
my phone's about
Who
to die. Yeah.
makes a cameo in the final battle against Thanos? Is it A, Howard the Duck, B, Red Hulk, C, Nick Fury, D, Happy Hogan? Howard the Duck, Red Hulk, Nick Fury, Happy Hogan.
We know that one.
Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck.
Senator Harris!
Final answer. Is that for the win?
I'm like, yeah, I'm rooting for like all teams.
Okay, no, here we go. This is for the win.
Howard the Duck?
Exactly
What?
2 hours, 17 minutes, and 25 seconds into Endgame, a few Avengers arrive to help our struggling heroes. Who is positioned 13 from the left of frame? A, Korg, B, Wanda Maximoff, Scarlet Witch, C, Valkyrie, or D, Doctor Strange?
I got it. It's Valkyrie.
I was gonna say, if anyone did this is like
It's Valkyrie.
It's no fun playing with you, you know.
God.
You don't even,
Donnie, wait a minute.
What?
I think that you were there for a lot of these questions, but this is like off the charts crazy. Anthony, I probably saw that movie 400 times, and I cannot tell you it was 13th from left.
Well, I do have the time stone. And there were 3 questions, burning questions that I needed the answers to. So I might have played with the multiverse a little bit. Well, see, there was 433, Valkyrie, and I needed the answer on a certain upcoming decision.
Downey called it. Oh,
We
it's
know
so
you're getting
exciting to be here with the VP.
I'm glad you survived the use of those stones,
Oh my
Robert.
God.
So what does that mean? Does that mean we're tied?
Yeah, what's
I
the
don't know.
score?
What's the last question?
I think we're
All
tied.
times are good. Oh my God, it's a tie.
We tied.
All I'll say is Senator Harris carried your team.
Yeah, she kind of did. It's kind of true.
Thank you, Senator Harris.
Evans, I think we have time for one last question.
What's that?
I think we have time for one last question. Do you have a last question?
Let's do
I have a
it.
question.
I don't know. Do you?
I don't know. Do I? Oh no.
I have one.
So good.
Who has
All
the
right.
question?
Let's see.
Which Avenger said?
All right, I do have a question. Yeah, all right, I have a great question. Team Rutt, which Avenger said this? We can choose the path of becoming angrier, less hopeful, and more divided. A path of shadow and suspicion. Or we can choose a different path. A path of hope and light. Was it Steve Rogers, Kamala Harris, Black Panther, Joe Biden, or Tony Stark?
I
It
mean,
was
come
not.
on.
It was Joe Biden. It was Joe Biden.
You can't give
It
him
was
the
Joe
answer on our
Biden.
team.
Way to win.
That was how we
Way
win.
to win. Thank you. Thank you.
Steve, Now, if that's not a sign of someone who wants to bring people together, I don't know what is.
Good for the union, but bad for our team.
No, that was the right answer. That was the right answer.
It was a
She nailed it.
tiebreaker.
How do you know it?
He did. It was a great speech he gave. It was a great speech. He was a great speech. You should also hear his Gettysburg speech. Great speech. That was at the convention, and then there was the Gettysburg speech. Both really incredible. And that's Joe. That's who Joe is. He really does want to bring the country together. Really is who he is.
He could be on the squad.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like something Marcus and McFeely would write. That's beautiful. Well said. Beautiful.
And I think that is a very fitting quote to end this on. And I just, again, I want to thank all of you deeply and from the bottom of our hearts for joining us today. And I want to thank you, Senator Harris. It's been amazing getting to spend time with all of you together. Avengers, do you guys have any parting words for everyone out there?
This was an
honor. Love one another, take care of each other, and just remember how important this moment is, and really show up.
Please
vote.
Vote.
Democrat.
Please vote.
Please vote.
Democrat. Straight down the ticket.
That's right.
I mean, I don't mean to be political.
And thank you, Senator. Thank you so much. Thank you for just being that trailblazer that is fighting for us all in the front lines and not letting us down and always compelling us to lean in. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well said.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So much
Thank you guys
praise.
so much. I mean, look, I could do this all day. All day, but and then just remind everybody to go to iwillvote.com. Let's make our voices heard and let's get this done. And to the Russo brothers and to the entire cast, thank you guys. This was incredible, really incredible. I mean, not only incredible joy, and I'm fanning out, but it's incredible what you guys are doing. So thank you for that. Thank you on behalf of Joe and myself. We're so appreciative.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're more appreciative.
Bye, everyone. I love you all.
Love to everybody who joined us and contributed. It's going to make a huge difference in the future of our country. So thank you all for being here and contributing.
Vote early.
Thank you, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Vote early.
Thank you.
Vote
Thank
early.
you.
Thank you.